Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Our name is wrong. Hey,
Good morning.
good morning. We're gonna get it together. My Sis Podcast.
You know, it says Sacred Keys.
I know. My Sis Podcast.
That's what
Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. We're gonna get it together. Where's Miss Brooke?
Where is Miss Brooke?
Miss Brooke, where are you?
Hey everybody. We getting it together.
No, I had to mute her mic in the beginning. That's
Oh,
all.
okay,
When you
she
said
here.
That, I gotta edit that, and I forgot to.
Is she here?
There she go.
She's
Hey
here.
love. Hey. Morning peace.
Morning, peace.
Hey. All right. Is it together? Cause it still say.
Yeah, it's about that
There we go.
time.
Hi, we see you.
Go
Great
ahead,
day,
James.
Yeah. Okay. We good. Hey. We good. We got some.
We're here.
Hey,
now.
we here.
Okay.
All right, welcome y'all to My Sis Podcast. This is our second Sunday going.
Second Sunday.
Welcome in. Hey guys, hey everybody. So we all here today. We got our good sis here. She is joining us because she out celebrating. Yes. So just
I'm
we're
at
gonna do some
Soaring Eagle.
check-ins. You doing what?
I said I'm in Soaring Eagle. With my
Soaring
kids.
Ego. So let's do some check-ins with each other. How your week been? How you feeling on this good morning? How you feeling? How you feeling, Alicia?
Oof, I feel great.
Okay.
I had a wonderful night. Last couple of days getting off of work, just relaxing, just being able to woosah. I feel good. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so I was a little down. She's been gone since 2008. But besides that, my weekend was pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
good.
awesome.
Good to hear. So yeah,
That's what's up.
my week's been pretty good. Too is my last week of seeing clients.
Okay, so
For a couple weeks. I'm off because my son's off until January 8th.
yeah.
So I'm
Hey,
looking
for me
forward.
too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, just chilling.
I only got 2 days off of work. How did they
Yeah.
get 2 weeks out of school?
Yeah, they got 2 weeks out of school. I was asking my son. I was like, "What do you want to do? What we gonna plan to do over these 2 weeks?" He was like, "We're gonna have a brain break." I was like,
Oh.
"I'm with that. Like, we can have, we can have a brain break."
I'm with that.
Yeah. So
Right.
week's been cool. I've been mostly chilling. I've been in the house, most of this week. I didn't, in the weekend as well. Just been in the house, just being to myself,
I
chilling.
didn't go party this weekend.
Yeah.
That was strange.
That was
I didn't-
strange.
Yeah, I didn't Friday or Saturday. Normally, I didn't go out. So
Need a little
Still
break
had a good
sometimes.
weekend.
yeah, I
Yeah.
had an awesome weekend. Sometimes you need that. You don't
Still
have
need a
to-
little break. Yeah. Yeah.
You always need that. Well, my
Yeah.
week, me preparing for this mini road trip for my children, my beautiful daughters that are, they cried, which I was like, "Ooh."
When y'all got there, they cried.
Yeah, because they were asleep. They didn't know where we were going.
Oh,
So they
okay.
sleep, and I got up, and I'm like, "Come on, y'all." I'm like, "We had to stop for a second." They got up and was like, "Mama, we love water parks."
That's so cute.
So it was a beautiful thing.
So you did.
It was a
say,
beautiful thing. All week I've been.
You let them open up a gift when you first got there, or how did that go?
Yeah, I let them open up a few. I let them
Okay.
open up a few gifts. I know they love jury, so of course they had a jury maker. But it was dope. It was dope. Seeing them happy, and especially I have girls. I didn't know that they were going to be so emotional,
Okay.
but it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
As far as them crying
I'm
about it,
excited.
you didn't think that they were gonna cry.
Yes. No. I
That's
just thought they were going to be happy,
beautiful.
and I was like,
That's happiness. Ain't it tears?
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
yeah, happy.
Those are
Yeah.
tears of
Tears
joy.
of joy.
That's cool.
And then what
Yeah,
age
that's-
are they? You should be happy they're at their age where they're wanting to show emotion. So like, what age?
Yeah,
are
they're
your
10 and
girls?
8.
These kids these
Yeah.
days, yeah. Cherish
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah, 10 and 8.
I
So
have a 10-year-old.
I can't
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
have a 10 and an 8-year-old.
10 and
Okay.
8-year-old.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you got a few more years before emotion is not gonna show as much.
Oh, as far as being a teenager, they won't
Yeah,
show
once
how
you
they
get them
feel.
teenage years. So yeah,
Yeah.
I say cherish those.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yes,
It sounds like
yes, yes.
we had a pretty good week. We're gonna get into what we're talking about today. We're gonna start off first though. We're gonna have we got a segment. It's called Morning Peace,
Yes.
and so this segment is just about you can hear us say morning peace to one another, and what morning peace is that in the morning joy comes, right? And it's like we've had that night of rest, and then waking up in that morning, something good for us to hear, something else for us to reflect on or think about. I don't know if Mark, you got the visual.
You sent the
I
you sent-
did.
okay, let me go.
Yeah,
get it,
I
'cause
did.
was doing
Yeah.
that other stuff.
Yeah. So this our topic today is called holiday feels is our topic today. And what we're talking
Holiday
about
feel.
today, holiday feels, right?
Yes, yes. Ooh.
So, we are in the holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, we got Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all those things that are coming up. And so, we just want to talk about, how we're navigating through all of that, all the feelings that are coming up, that joy as well as the pain that we can, and the sorrow and things like that we can experience in this holiday season. So that's what we're talking about. So this morning peace segment, there's a little visual that we're trying to get up. I don't know if I can start hearing the music.
It's kind of Facebook is lagging right now.
Is it? We're gonna work it out.
It's definitely.
We're gonna work it out. We got it. We got it. So the visual, as we're waiting for that visual to come up, you guys heard of the saying "time heals
Wounds.
all wounds." You heard of that, right, Brooke?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you heard of it. Time heals all. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't feel like
Go ahead, baby.
to be honest, I don't feel like it's true.
Okay.
I feel like as with time you learn to deal.
Mm.
I don't feel like you actually heal. I feel like you learn to deal
Learn to
with
deal.
learn to deal with anything that you trying to heal. I feel like you learn to deal with it.
You learn to deal with it. Okay.
So I agree with Brooke, like, and not necessarily with time wounds. Time heals all wounds, because no, it's some wounds that is unrepairable, some wounds that will always be left open, but time do make it easier to deal.
Easier to deal with it.
Make it easier to understand. It gives you like meaning. Times, I believe, give you meaning of why. But no, I don't think it heals.
So it's not just the time that heals that
No.
things. Okay. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
video.
You got the video. Okay, you can play it. We can play it. If y'all see the video, hello. Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw that video a few weeks ago, and it was saying that time heals all. And I'm with y'all. I'm not with the time heals all, and not even with that video. That video doesn't really show me that it's just time that's
it
healing.
wasn't. It was the motion going.
There, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Through, it was
ma'am.
going through the
Yeah, there
motion.
was
Yes,
work.
ma'am. There's
Yeah.
movement
And
happening.
there was a special tool
Yes,
that was
ma'am.
used as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. There's some
Yes.
movement that's happening with
It's
that.
stuff got to be shifted.
That's shifted.
'Cause
Yes.
if it was just sitting
Yes,
there,
ma'am.
the time
Yes.
alone wouldn't have been
Yes,
a damn
the
thing.
time alone wouldn't do it. It's the time in the movement, the motion that's there that heals things. So this is the morning piece for today. Morning piece. Time will pass, the hurt may remain, but in the movement there is comfort, and you will smile again.
Yeah. It was the movement.
It's the movement.
And I didn't even know her segment.
Yeah. It's the
And it's
motion.
crazy because I seen that same video
It's
and I thought it was
emotional.
cool. You know them videos that just captivate you, be sitting there
Mm-hmm.
watching them for
Yeah.
5 minutes, like, look at the dirt. It's
Bring a little
yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, it's a real message behind
Yeah.
it. Just brought it out. You know what I'm saying?
It
Yeah.
was meaning. It's
Yeah.
meaning.
Because even in the
It
even
provides a little common.
you said what, Brooke?
I said it provides a common, like a little
Yeah.
relaxation
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Most definitely. Because even with the person scooping out,
What they
right?
scooped, right.
Because that's even showing that, like, you know, it's not just time, because even in time we can still things like that scooping out of us. Like, that's disturbing, that's distracting, that's grief, that's loss, that's things that are happening. But time is passing and that movement and motion is happening, can even smooth over those things too that are being taken from us. So I just wanted to, you know, start
But
that
then
off.
with that,
Yeah.
you can appear normal.
Yeah.
But you really never really are the same that you
It
really
is not.
were.
It's still it's
See,
still not.
If you watch the movement when it first did it, it just put a layer over it. The first time, the hole was still there. It just put a layer over it. The other time, it was still there. It wasn't until.
But at the same time, it took
moving.
away from
Yeah,
every,
it
a
took from
little
every-
bit away. Yeah.
from every
to fill
other
up
part.
that spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every other part of you to fill up that one part, and so it's still being taken to give, take to give.
Take
so
to
no,
give, yeah.
time alone is not healing.
It's not healing,
anything,
right?
no.
So it's the time,
It's the
and
time that
move-
it takes to go through those
yeah,
cycles.
Yeah.
time and
to
movement.
get used to it. Like, as I stated in the opening, my mom, her birthday was yesterday, and since 2018, it doesn't get better. But today, I'm way better than when I first learned in 2018 of her passing. So it's not like I'm healed. No, I still have those emotions.
It was some shifts that
Yeah.
happened in the space, though, as far as like how it affects you now. So what do you think, like, whether those shifts for you that like got you to a space where, you know, there was a bit of healing maybe, or not even, you know, it doesn't maybe affect you the same. There's pain that's still there, I'm imagining, for sure.
Yeah.
But what were those shifts that were happening for
It
you?
was
That
just understanding that she's okay. You know what I'm saying? That she's not suffering, knowing that she's in a better place, not going through that. But if I still was left with the feeling of abandonment and, you know, the why if, you know, I wanted her here and why she was gone. So I still had to process those emotions as well. And so also brought along a lot of grief. So it was just understanding, like, tomorrow's not promised to nobody, and just cherishing those moments that you do have, because you know you never know. So I still feel as though it was yesterday that she
It was
passed
yesterday,
away. Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
You know.
You know what's crazy? So I didn't have a chance to grieve my mom's death until years later. I was pregnant with my oldest daughter when my mom died.
Okay.
So it took years to where I was able to actually feel like,
The emotions
Okay.
behind it.
yeah, the emotion, because at that moment I have to be strong. Like, I'm a mother now, so now I have to prepare to give birth, and I have to make sure I do what's right. You know, I thank God that I didn't go through postpartum depression. You know, I had a little anxiety.
Everybody
You know,
has anxiety.
yeah, yeah,
and that's why I say I think it just takes time to cope
yeah.
with it, to deal, you know, just to continue life, because
Yeah.
it's nothing that will never bring, you know, her back. So it's like you got to keep moving.
Right. So how are we navigating, like, through, you know, like, we're in this holiday season where, you know, the thing is joy, it's Christmas, it's these holidays, it's celebration, it's love, and it's all these, you know, connection and being with family and things like that. So how are we balancing, you know, those feelings, or holding space for joy, and how are we holding space for, you know, grief as well? Like, today is my my grandfather's birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday.
He passed in 2011. And we used to have one of the celebrations that we used to have around this time on his birthday. We would do a fish fry, like shrimp,
Okay.
you know, fish and everything like that. Like, we all gather and, like, we just eat shrimp, right? And that hasn't happened, you know, in a while. So, you know, being able to balance, like, holding space for, like, loss, you know, of people, you know, during this holiday season, and being able to hold space for, like, you know, some moments of joy where we're together. Sometimes that loss, like, affects that joy. Like, we're not getting together. You
Not
know,
doing nothing.
like, we're not, like,
when
you
you
know,
lose
like, when somebody is lost, and, like, that
a
tradition or something,
monumental person
yeah,
of
goes
the
away with
family,
them.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So how
Yeah,
are we
when that
like
glue of the
balancing that?
family, yeah,
Go
when
ahead,
that
Roberta.
glue of the family is gone, the family kind of breaks, breaks into their own, their separation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, with me, it wasn't. I didn't really get into back into the holiday spirit and things of tradition until I had my son. So it's more so I had him in 2018. So it was more so creating tradition for him. I know I used to go over my auntie house. I used to get together. We go over this auntie house. They cooking. You meet up with every family member. You get a plate. That's how I grew up. On my mom and dad's side, somebody in the family was cooking. Growing up for my son these last couple years, it hasn't been as much family tradition where it's if you have to find out who doing it, or if that family member like you get invited to it. It wasn't as so when the grandmas was living, and you know
So how come we hold on to that though, like that part of it, like them people not here, the people who did it are not here to do it anymore, so we don't have it versus like, hey, let me take on this reign or let me do,
What
you know what
you
I'm
know what
saying?
with me, I started my own. Like it's the family tradition. I feel like is when you have your own family,
mhm,
you create your family. Your
join
immediate
us, yes.
family tradition. So just like now, this is going to be one of our traditions. Instead of staying home and opening up gifts, we travel in the world, baby.
Hmm.
That's our guaranteed time to be off.
And that's something that you and your kids do. That's a tradition you and your kids is making. And as well, like I feel like this last
Yes.
couple of years, I've been trying to do that for my son because it's being lost in the whole idea of Christmas. Is like I don't like. I really been beating myself up about
Mm.
it. It's just at this time. It's just as long as they happy. It's just the tradition of him smiling, seeing that smile
Mhm.
on his face, and eating good food. Cause yeah, I love food. So it's eating good food and just seeing his face.
Get up.
As of right now, it's like I'm not even caring about entertaining family like all the time or going house to house, and no, it's just seeing him right now is the
Yeah.
tradition for me.
You mentioned and said something about beating yourself up about like the Christmas, season and those pressures and stuff like that. I want to talk about that a bit, like, because not even just like, us dealing with like grief and loss of loved ones or
Yeah.
whatever, but, even during the holiday season, like, is it like reminding you of something like where you are and like what you don't have and the
Mhm.
lack that you in? So a lot of people like hold on to that, like, I'm not able to give my kids this, or I'm
Yeah.
not able to,
Mhm.
on Christmas they not have, or I'm like, or just I gotta choose between this and this. So I'm just wondering like how,
I think it's because that keeping up with the Jones mentality, like
but the Joneses, most of the Joneses, we all
but
dealing with
that's
the same
not
thing. So
no, but
we trying to keep what we trying to keep up with, like what's.
nobody is honest about that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say the pressure, is because I was under a lot of pressure because I just went between jobs, and I'm like, oh, I ain't got a Christmas tree. I ain't got no lights up. I don't got 1,000 presents up under the tree. I ain't baked cookies. We didn't do a gingerbread house. I'm like I felt bad as a parent, but all these weeks and days leading up to it, my son has been like the most happiest ever
Hmm.
with just the smallest
And
thing.
ain't thinking about none of
Right,
that
No.
right.
shit,
I'm like,
man.
what's it?
Yeah, but I felt really bad. I felt like I need a tree. I
Yeah,
need this. You know what I'm saying? I got a gift up under there. Something needs to be done. I felt like I should have done more. He should have had more. I still do. I'm like, okay, I get paid after Christmas. He's gonna have it after, but I wanted him to have it on that day.
yeah.
So I feel like it's pressure of the
And you know
holiday.
what? I feel like I'm in this day, in this age that my son is, like, relieving that pressure on him. And I'm not even gonna say on myself with the whole, oh well, you just don't want to buy him gifts and not, because I gave him his shit before Christmas.
Yeah,
Right,
you do it year
Right.
round.
right.
You
You know what
know.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm teaching him that this holiday ain't
It
about
ain't nothing.
ain't
It's
about giving the
consumer.
gifts. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
cons-
It's about spending time with
yeah.
your
All
family
right.
and having good memories and shit
Yeah.
with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? With the toys
Taking
maybe that you
trips.
get
Yeah.
or whatnot. But all of that superficial bullshit is null and void, because I'm teaching my son not to lie to me at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be wrong for me to turn around and lie to him as a kid and then cultivate this lie in his head. And then, because like one person on the panel said, oh, well, because I told him about how my dad was 16 years old, 17 years old, but when he found out Santa Claus wasn't real, and he was mad. And he gonna say, oh, what, 16 years old? That's too old to still be believing this. But this is the same person that feels like I'm stealing my kid's innocence by not telling them that he real at this young age. So I
Them
can tell
kids
him.
don't.
So I
Them
can,
kids can still be innocent, still have the joy and
so
all of that
I-
without
that's-
no. Yeah.
That's a delusional person
Yeah.
to say something like that because you want me to lie to him, but then at the same time, when they get to a certain age, laugh at them, say, "Oh, you a fool."
You
for
too
still
old.
believing
Yeah,
that."
yeah. You're right.
Like, you
That's the
delusional
whole
as
thing.
hell.
Like you told me, this is what you handed to
Yeah,
me.
you
This
And
is
now,
what
and
you
now
did.
I'm jeopardizing my integrity as a parent
Right.
and everything that I taught you and how much I expect you to believe in me. When you grow up and feel like that this was a lie, the Easter Bunny don't lay eggs, fucking all of this other bullshit that you told me and shit ain't true, but I was supposed to believe you on every.
Right. So I was being
How do you expect for them to
myself
be
about
true to how do you expect for them to be truthful to you?
Yeah.
And you lie to them.
Exactly, I'm teaching
Like
you not
my
to lie.
kids already know what's up. My kids came to me like, we know Santa not real. We know you
Yeah.
Santa.
I tell my
All the
son
gifts.
all the time, Santa not real. I be like, so, you know, he's like, I know, Mom. I just choose to believe. I'm like, okay, just as long as you, just as long as you know.
My son, he knows Santa's not real. He's just like the fellowship, I believe, of the holidays. For Christmas, he asked for Roblox blocks, and they was like $10, like for a
Yeah,
card.
my son, same thing, same way.
Yeah.
He ain't want nothing. I'm sitting here stressing, like, oh, I gotta get him a tractor, or I gotta get
Right.
him.
Right. Try.
I'm crying,
Yeah,
y'all,
no.
real tears. I told y'all I'm emotional. I'm
Nah,
crying
you would have
real
been mad
tears.
as hell when you bought $300 on
And
this
he ain't
He not
tractor.
playing
playing.
with
You
nothing.
playing with
Right.
it.
He just wanted to play with the Roblox.
Now you've been mad and emotional.
Yeah.
I spent my money for
Yeah.
nothing.
It's toys at home
Yeah.
right now that
So-
he don't play with.
So is that our idea that, like, you know, if we like uphold all these things and, like, you know, keep this joy and wonderment, that we can, like, are we trying to protect our kid from, like, experiencing something like not having that joy, or are we
does it-
protect them
does it-
from,
or
like,
is it part of the
pain?
reason
Like,
why
what's
we-
going on with that?
Or
Yeah.
as we was talking about earlier before the show started, is it part of the reason why we all as adults have this certain level of trauma, right, that we deal with because we went through a period of shock,
Yeah.
of unlearning what we learned, and have to
Yeah.
learn some
Yeah.
new shit, and have to unlearn that and learn some new shit.
And they have to teach your kids
And
that.
now
and
we
keep-
looking at it and looking around in the world, lost
Yeah.
as hell as adults. Like, damn, this is the real place and shit. They shielded and guided me.
Yeah, I never believed in a lot of stuff. My aunt that raised me, she was very transparent.
Okay.
You know, she was very transparent. So being 5-6 years old, I didn't believe in Santa.
So
I
guess
didn't
what?
believe in the school theory because she was real.
You, just like the sisters on the panel and like myself, that's all a testament to the person that we are today. Versus we see it's a lot of unstable creatures out here, right?
Yeah.
They unstable because they thought Santa was real.
Part of the reason why. Part of the reason why. Absolutely. I'm glad you picked up what I was putting down there.
Look, no, my
I'm glad
son.
you picked up what I was putting down.
He
right
know
there.
he's not real, and he got concept and money. And so we went to Target because he had a birthday present that he wanted to take back. Got it for his birthday.
That's where delusion started at.
And so I'm going to Target. I'm like, in my head, I'm just gonna let him pick out something. You know, tell him it's for Christmas. I think he had got like $45 back from this gift. So we going around. He's shopping at Target. Got a couple things here. Come time to pay. I'm like, son, I need your money. He like, why? He like, I told you I was saving my money. Like, he was like, I told you I was saving my money. This is my birthday money, and you supposed to get this for Christmas. Like, looking at, I didn't want this. You know, I want to save my money, and you got these toys. It's, you know, you
That was
said
for
you
you.
That was for you.
That's for
So
you. You just what you want to
paid
do,
for it.
right?
That's what. And he at 5. He told me that
Yeah.
like. Okay, hand me your
And that's
40,
why I
no.
think that the thing is too, like, I think we have these assumptions about like yeah, we can say what's best for our kid, but sometimes we have assumptions based on our own like perceptions in the world, like what's best. Oh, like my kid needs a treat, kids needs this, they need that. When all the time they can be telling you like, hey, I'm good on this. This is something that you want, that you
He
are
ain't
pressure
want
and stressing
nothing.
yourself out about. But we were having that conversation with her as far as like, you know, how this starts, like from this position, how this starts, you know, could be a catalyst to like hiding of trauma or things like that, or how it affects you. Because I think we do it with a good intention of like, again, trying to create, you know, safety for our kids and make sure that they feel happy and safe. And you know, and not even want to have a space for our kids to feel disappointment.
It's
Or
just like
sadness.
we don't want to
and
see.
it creates an atmosphere where, you know, on a bigger, further, more serious scale, where we're sweeping things under the rug in the family, right? That we know,
that's
we all know, we all know the boogeyman, right?
They real.
We ain't gonna say
ain't gonna
nothing
talk about
because
the
we all
boogeyman.
ain't supposed to
Not
say
this
nothing.
segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for a different. That's for a different.
I ain't gonna open up that can like that, but
That's
I mean, good segue into next
It's
week's
true.
show.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah,
'Cause there's a lot of rug sweeping, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff under the rugs, baby.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
I think really just that, you know, the education around this time, because like you know, we do it with my son. I don't really particularly like say, you know, I celebrate Christmas or whatever, because we also do, you know, Kwanzaa things. And one of the
Which
things
we
that
need to do more.
one of the things I like about Kwanzaa is that like it's a lot more focused on the community and culture, and it's not necessarily about like what we can buy, consume, you know, consume.
You
That's
don't
what I'm
see
kinda-
nobody
I'm
going
trying
out
to-
buying toys for
no,
Kwanzaa.
but even then, like we can even the identification of like what is a gift, because even in that space too, a gift can be like these presents and this time that we
Knowledge.
spend together and this
Yeah.
knowledge that we get. It's not just this material stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what we try to like really shy away from with my son. Like I don't buy nothing for him for Christmas a lot of the times. Like if I do, like this year I bought him two things.
Okay.
I bought him. We don't buy
Because they
he-
get stuff.
like even if it's all year round that he gets things, but I also want him to understand too that it's not just like, oh, you wake up and there's just something just under the tree for you,
All
like
the
just it's
time,
like,
yeah.
or you have this expectation of this is what's supposed to happen, or if you don't get anything, then you know you feel some type of way.
Yeah,
It plays on
that's- it
your
do.
emotional state, right? And so I do like I really thrive on like wanting my child to be like emotionally regulated and be able to understand. In order for him to be emotionally regulated, there has to be space and room for not joy,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Like for
just-
him to
What I
have
was
disappointment
gonna
and
say-
like
What I
you
was
know,
gonna say is just like I can reward you for doing bad, right? Discipline. I use this opportunity to reward you for something good. I mean, now at the end of the year, right? This in my mind, I'll paint this picture as the pinnacle, right? Of your but
Being good all year. Here you go.
type shit. You know what I mean?
it's
But,
been good all year.
yeah. So, you know,
Tell me a
this-
kid that been good all year.
You said, "Say what?
Tell me a kid that's been good all
Get
year.
all
I mean,
year."
shit, my son ain't bad, man. So,
my
you know,
baby
he
not
a
bad
typical-
either.
He a typical
He's not
kid,
bad.
but he ain't bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
no.
doesn't deserve to
I
be,
think those
to
are
be
good-
he doesn't deserve to be celebrated at the end of the year, especially at this age.
You don't even be
He
celebrated.
don't
at the
deserve
end?
to. I'm saying he don't deserve to not be
Oh,
celebrated.
to not
yeah.
be celebrated. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can get in that good and bad perception too, because I don't think no kids is bad, but
I don't either.
I don't think my
I
son
feel
is better. He's just
misguided.
active. My
Yeah.
son is but he's 5. He's
Yeah.
a very,
He's doing what
very
he's supposed to
active 5-year-old, and
Yeah.
I love it. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
every little active bone in his body. I
yeah.
love it.
He
You know what's
like,
crazy is I call all kids baby kids, right? And all the time. I'm like,
Y'all
hey,
babies.
little baby. Hey, little baby. But when I say baby, it's not in the
Yeah.
form of like they're actual baby kids. They're bad. I know kids are kids. Now the
Yeah.
thing is when kids behave a certain way, they are taught that. They get it
Okay.
from
Or
somewhere.
it's a reflection
not
of
the
their
children's
environment.
fault.
So
Yes, it's not the children's fault.
So I get in like behaviors that you want to correct. I don't think that because this does happen. I don't think that like things like the holidays should be used as a response to behaviors. Like people use the holidays
Because you
as a
was
response
bad, you
because you
shouldn't
was
get
bad.
your-
You're not gonna get nothing because that's what Santa
You're
Claus.
not
You're
gonna
gonna
get
get cold if you've
Yeah,
been naughty.
you gonna
Like
be on
you
a
don't get
naughty
like you're on a
list.
naughty list. You being bad and like even like what that teaches like you know as far as like you know we can't have times we can't hold space because sometimes bad like especially with our kids is a couple things. It's a kid being a kid developmentally and then them learning like
Behavior.
they're learning how to like operate in this world like what's right what's wrong and they make mistakes often and so a lot of times we like equate that bad behavior to them learning and growing and making these mistakes and so
Or expect them to know.
and so
You
then
should know.
now you should know or so now at the end of the year you can't get nothing because you didn't know or you
gonna
wasn't
buy
like
nothing all
you
year
know
anyway.
and then like even like that creates that instability too you know of not being able to that can create some anxiety right like I can't make mistakes I can't do this I can't because I'm not going to get what I deserve if I'm not productive if I'm not doing these things I can't get gifted or rewarded I don't deserve you know these things so I think that that's important too like that we don't like kind of instill some of
That's what I
that.
said, the pressure of the holiday. It's
Yeah.
just the pressure. They gotta be good to get the gift, whether they believe in Santa or not. That's what Santa say. You know what I'm saying? That's what the songs say. You know,
That's what
you gotta
parents
be
say.
good to get a gift. You know, you gotta be.
That's what
and then,
parents say.
yeah, and then it's the pressure on the parents. Like I gotta get them a gift. You know how many people don't have it. You know how many people spent rent money. This. You know
Yeah.
how people gonna go into January
In
with
debt.
paying rent late
With
because
nothing.
of this
Debt.
holiday.
Yeah.
You know, people card notes ain't paid because of this holiday, and I understand the joy, wanting to see the joy on the child face because I was that parent. Like, oh, I was about to go broke for my baby. I go broke for him. So it's a pressure behind this holiday. Period. I feel like this is the only holiday where it's not just about love and not just about fellowship.
Yeah, because
It's-
that consumer part is in there.
Is seasonal depression talked about in the summertime?
nah,
No.
No.
nah.
I mean, because there are
So
things.
why is it a seasonal depression then? Because we have just as many holidays in the summertime.
Because it's darkened.
It's
It's
yeah.
darkened.
Most of it
This
is
one.
dark.
Darkened,
Most of it is because it's dark. It's
the
about like the
environment
lack
darkened.
of sunlight.
Sunlight,
Yeah,
the
the
desolate-
sunlight.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so because of those like vitamin D levels are affected, and so that's why
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
so that's
seasonal.
all. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
understand. all
It's
that.
cold.
Yeah, but also too though, in, like
All of
again,
those things
environment, all of those
combined.
things combined, plus
yeah.
what's going on,
yeah,
like
yeah,
those,
yeah.
you know, you're thinking about because you are thinking about the fellowship part of
That
it
you're
too,
thinking
even
about
if
the
it's like full
family.
of consumerism, you're still thinking about the family part, and that's go back to what we were talking about earlier, is that either the family's not there, they're not connected, we have all these lost, you know, loved ones and things
And,
like that.
in,
That's
in
not.
this particular day and age in 2023, what makes it another even level of darkness is because 2-3 years ago, right around the holiday season, we had this death of a plague that came and
Oh, yeah,
ran
it
through the
did.
country and
I
took a lot of
remember.
people's family members out.
Couldn't
Yeah.
celebrate the
You know what I'm
last
saying?
2
So now,
years.
yeah,
COVID,
yep. So now we just not coming out of this hole, being able to come outside for real,
Mm-hmm.
and our family members is missing, and we still ain't, healed from trauma from years before that. It's just
I believe with the missing, when losing a matriarch in the family, somebody like that, it's gonna take time to rebuild. But I believe it needs to needs to stand up and okay, this person not here. Let's bring the family back. It's just somebody need to take the initiative to bring the family back
gonna do it?
together.
Who's gonna do it?
That should be the question all around America
Yeah,
right
who's
now.
gonna
do it? I'm not.
It's who
'Cause it
gonna
seems
do
like
it.
everybody
not
waiting,
doing
somebody
it.
waiting,
It's
somebody
somebody
waiting
for
on somebody to
Yeah,
do
somebody
it.
waiting
I'm
on
not
somebody.
doing
and when it's a power battle and a respect battle and all
Yeah.
of these other different emotions that's running around in the family at the time that a major matriarch has been lost, it's hard to establish that hierarchy.
Yeah.
When everybody feels like they're supposed to be the one and
Or
all
they're
that.
next,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And then dare we say it, everybody don't have the mindset right to take on the reins. Everybody don't have the skill set.
Well, to
Everybody
my
don't really have the
family-
heart.
We hear you,
Well,
brother.
to
D.
my family, I'm not doing it.
Said it ain't
I'm
you.
not, no, it's
Not it.
And some people know that the waters
Say
is too
not
rattled to
it.
even try to settle.
So
Not
do
it.
you think when do it become a relationship with a family member become too much water under the bridge to repair?
Oh. So like
Well,
it's too much water.
It's
under
too
the bridge.
much where it's like, okay, it's too much stuff happened. It's too much stuff swept up under the rug. So nobody is sweeping. I mean, nobody is trying to repair it. Nobody is trying to mend. Nobody is reaching
you know
out.
what? I think a lot of people pride. It's about a lot of people
So it's
pride.
pride. So what is too much to reach out? That's what I'm saying.
When pride
When
is
you
so
get
much in the way that
exhausted.
respect is lost.
Yeah, that's why I
when
literally,
pride
when
is
you
so
get
much
exhausted.
in the way that accountability is not had or
Okay.
held. You know what I mean? Because now, if without respect, without accountability, and then in the arena where they're supposed to be called family, then I mean, is there even really love there? And if it's not no love, then is it really family? Are they gonna
You know
operate
what's
like that?
crazy? The saying is family is who you make it to be, right? You could be biologically related, you know what I'm saying, but it's not that connection there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot. I have a lot of family out there, a lot of brothers, nieces, nephews, cousins, auntie, uncles. I have a lot, but if it's no connection, then it's no connection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're biologically related. Yeah, but it's like y'all could be my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all make my family because we're here.
Your tribe.
Yeah. I think
You know what
part
I'm
of the
saying? We
problem
here.
I think part of the problem is that, the holidays is too late for us to try to be fellowshipping and trying to get together.
And why do it
And we
have
wait,
to be?
we wait, yeah, we wait.
Trying to force
Yeah,
all
we're trying
of
to
this
force
shit.
it on, be like
It's
in
either
this
a
space of
holiday
that,
or a
yeah.
death. It's either a
Yeah.
holiday or a
Yeah.
death when families want to come together. And I
Yeah.
feel like it should be year round. Like,
Yeah.
I like
This should be these relationships should be cultivated. Over,
cousins
like, yeah.
night, game night. Y'all,
Yeah.
let's do this. Like, I did Thanksgiving at my house this year. I had just got into my house and I wanted to throw Thanksgiving at my house, and so I was grateful for the ones that came out. But it's like I wanted to try because I wanted my son to see also me trying to incorporate family coming over, seeing those type of gatherings, whether because we didn't have those at first. It's me and him. We were in Colorado when we were out there for a minute, and being here, we didn't have our own space to have things at our home. And so when I got my house, I was like, yes, I'm gonna do this for my son, and he's been having sleepovers ever since. And so that was just a tradition I made with him. So it wasn't necessary for like to bring I wanted the family there, but it was also just for my son. Like I extended the olive branch, but like
Yeah.
it was just like I was understanding if they didn't come or didn't.
But
if they
like I
did.
said, we
Was
wait
you
to
doing
that
that for
point.
you or him though? Because did he want it, or was you doing that?
I was doing it for me.
She was doing it
more
for her.
so,
Yeah,
so
she was
because
doing it for her.
I'm a people person, and like I freaking like I love fellowship. I love to be with my family or be with family and friends, whatever that is. So
I guess in your
I'm
defense,
okay.
it was more so of both of y'all, right? Because you understood what you got from being around that type of atmosphere as a child, so you were just trying to create that
for him. You know what I'm saying?
But
That's
a lot of that as a child, like because again, that's going back to I guess that magic and wonderment of like the holidays where we try to make things look like
It
it's
was.
all good. And so as kids, we did see that in the space. But as kids, our people was fighting and they
Yeah.
had beef with each other,
Yeah.
and like
It was
they was in there
It was
taking shots
phony.
at each other in the holiday over the turkey and everything,
Yeah.
and everybody trying to
Yeah.
pretend and everything like
I
that.
dropped a banana pudding
Yeah.
down the stairs one holiday. I got cussed
No.
out a whole pan of a fresh pan. My daddy came down there scooping off the ground.
Oh,
He didn't
no,
ask me was I okay. He scooped the banana pudding up. I remember that.
Dropped
But
this
like,
banana pudding, girl.
it was
Of
just
course
like
you
my
did, too.
my family house was like a house. Like after church every Sunday, people came over every freaking Sunday. It was cool at first, and it was like I gotta do these dishes. Y'all expect? Oh no! So,
You know what's crazy is I don't have functions at my house. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with my situation right now, but I've never been that one. Like me and my kids always go out because people and their energies. I don't want that in my home.
Let's talk about
place of peace.
energy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my place of peace with me and my children, where we can be comfortable. We could be ourselves. And somebody coming in and bringing they mad and they angry and arguing. I don't listen. My kids probably see me argue maybe twice, because it's a lot of things I don't like, and if I can control it, I won't expose them to it. You want to talk to me? We can go outside.
Yeah.
My kids don't got a witness, but that also, it's also about the company you keep around. Because you're going to have those that's going to respect that. Like, we'll talk about it another day. We'll talk about it another time. We're together, the kids having a good time.
So
we're not going to.
So is there not space held for like, because it is a gathering, we're together, we're fellowshipping. Is there not a space, not to say not argument and like, drama kind of thing, but is there not a space to hold for conflict in this space?
I think conflict should be. That's not the space for conflict. I feel like
it comes up though. Like we can be in here, we can be eating cake together and celebrating and everything, but we can have some issue.
But it also should be some.
So we should just hold off.
Sweep it. Be not sweet. I'm tired of stuff being swept. No.
She trying to bait you with that.
You ain't you're not about to sweep nothing with me.
Okay.
But it's just like catch me outside. How about that? It's
so not in the house with Tria, but outside.
Yeah, like I'm not around the kid. Like it's just
I can't
somebody
even
know
say that.
No, it's not. It's not the time. Like I'm not about to be arguing with you or my son trying to open up his Christmas gift, or we sitting around the table because the conversation we need to have don't need to be had in front of everybody. So
It's
then
a time
too,
and
I
place.
feel like a little more, it'll be a little more where I'm on the defense, because now I feel like you're trying to show out. Now I feel like you want an audience when we can have this conversation in private.
Okay, so yeah, so so when I'm saying like hold space for conflict, again, it doesn't have to be this blow up. It doesn't have to be this all. It can be a healthy space where we're like, hey, you know, that really hurt
Well, not
that you
well,
did
then,
that. Like you know, like I
gotta
really, you
it
know,
gotta be where both y'all are in this space.
most definitely.
It can't be where, okay, you're in this space, but the person you want to have that conversation with may not be in that space, and that's wrong to try to talk them into something and being in that space. So to have a
And
conversation,
they're not ready.
you have to rate to both parties is ready, or it's not a conversation, right? It's just your opinion, and
I'm
they're
over
listening.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, you over conversation. You
It's always
know,
best to
she
attempt
said-
to
Listen, I
conversation.
told you no
It's
second chance.
It's a thin line you walk. You know what I mean? Because you got to
She
do
like deuces to the convo. We not going.
Oh, we called her. What is it? No chance, Brooke.
Yeah. No
No
look back.
second chance,
It was
Brooke.
like
No
something-
look, Brooke.
No look, Brooke.
No, look, Brooke.
No look, Brooke. No, I hear you on that for sure. I do think though, like as we said, we just wait too late, like with the holidays, and like we have this expectation that things are like, should be merry and cheerful, and when it's not. And we know
It's not,
that like there
It's
is some
tension.
things.
And then you
There's
try to
tension.
live up
There's
to that
things that are going
unrealistic
on.
standard when that's not the
Yeah.
reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And that becomes toxic as hell.
Most definitely.
becomes
And that's why I
phony
said
and
like
fake.
we should, outside of this holiday season, that stuff should be cultivated and talked about and like space held for it.
I feel like this. Everybody know if you're going to a family event that such and such is hosting Christmas. You know who might be there, who might come. You know the
Yeah.
cousins who show up. You know the cousins who don't. If there's a grudge or a problem prior to, you need to reach out before then. Or at
Most
the
of-
event, keep it to yourself. That's not the place. You know what I'm saying? It's not the time. That's for a fellowship. So if you got anything other than fellowship on your mind, I feel like you need to reevaluate yourself
People
and
are
why
coming
you're
to an
going.
atmosphere just like that, with family around, with the whole chip on their shoulder of on site.
They
And that
came there.
motherfucker
They
betting
came
on
there.
Yeah, that's what I
saying,
said,
I'm
'cause
like,
we
right,
wait
but it's
to-
just like, come on,
That's
know
because
they
we
there.
waiting to the end before we even just talk to each other.
But
Like
right
we only
there, though,
talk to
in
each
the
other.
event that we like, you know what I mean? Even
That's
if it is
a
like,
toxic person, and you want an audience.
That's-
Because if it was on
that-
site,
that's kinda
you want
what
an
I'm getting
audience.
at.
If on site mean on site, I can see you at the grocery store. I don't have to wait till we got 15
saying, some of
cousins
people
or
don't-
aunties. We eating dinner. No, boo, no. And
But
if
some
I'm
people don't even see their people until the holidays. or
okay, then you
till
can
a
see
funeral.
me, and I see you, and then shoot me an eye text like we going down
We're
the
going
street.
down the street.
I'm not about to tell. I used
We
to
got to
be
keep
like
the
that.
joy on the
The
inside.
Alicia I am now, I used to be a scrapper. So by any means, I was going. All right, you wanna no, but now I feel like you're not about to take me out. So you wanna fight? You're gonna meet me down the street, and we can do. And we're gonna go back to the family like nothing happened. I'm gonna pick you up, and we're gonna go back holding hands. And we're gonna fellowship like we should have been fellowshipping in the first place. So
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
That's how I'm rolling.
It's
You're
not
not
that
about to,
easy.
No, I'm not.
It's
It
not
damn
that-
sure
no,
ain't easy,
as
but
much as
you
you
know,
say
it
it's
it
not that
sound
easy.
good on paper, like
Man,
Right,
motherfucker.
Here's the way. I'm not even gonna say 10 years. 5
not
years
that
ago,
easy.
before the baby, I was reckless. Like even in school, if people know me from school, I was fight, yeah, or argument, yeah. I wasn't letting nothing go. I wasn't letting it go. And you was gonna see me. You was gonna hear me. And I think since my baby's just him, it's just like I'm thinking twice now. Okay, I might have
And
these
that's
feelings
why
and stuff, but it's a time and place for everything. It's a time.
That's
and
why I
place for
choose
everything.
to not have and welcome people into my house, because some people don't know how to control that. Just because you say that, the other person might not feel that way. So therefore, if I'm in an environment, I can leave. I can go home.
So I can, peace
I
out.
can be
Deuces.
deuces out with my
Yeah.
children, so that they don't
That's
have to
why I said
witness
that
that.
sound good on paper, because that may be your narrative and the way you want to execute it wholeheartedly. But there's an X factor in that equation called another person that you can't really.
In that moment, yeah. And
I can't trust nobody I done beat up. I'm sorry, I would never trust nobody.
Well, that's
I
just
lost one fight in my
the
life.
adult Alicia would like to think that I will hold myself in that way in that space, but like somebody can take you there, but I'm not trying to be took. So
Well, if you get beat up, you mean to tell me you're not gonna try to get
I
your
don't
revenge?
get beat up, baby.
She don't get beat up. She the beater
point is
upper.
that-
I don't
My
get
point
beat
is
up,
that,
wrote
baby.
that problem wrong already.
Straight
You
up,
don't
hold
think-
on.
Not
Hold
I.
on, not her. She's the beater
So
upper.
when you beat somebody up, you don't think they're gonna try to get their revenge? What?
They welcome to.
I had a girl fight me
I think
3
they learned
times.
a lesson.
She's
I
trying to
never
fight
had
me.
Try it.
I've never heard the person to come back like, I want to fight you again. Like, nah.
And that happens to me.
Oh.
That has happened to me. A girl came back like, come on, we could just square
During
up
the
one more time.
holidays?
So during
No.
the holidays.
She trying to fight you during the holidays? Like, nah.
I will though. No,
I
I'm
will
just,
fight you during the holidays. Ain't no man.
if it came down to that. You know, I'm not a
Mhm.
fighter, but hey.
I don't know. That's what get me into what I want to talk about now.
Mm-hmm.
With this holiday, my stress, y'all, it was stressing. It really
Yeah.
was. And so, just want to know some of the things you guys were stressing about. I stated, I was stressing. I wasn't able to provide as many gifts as I wanted to up under the tree. I wasn't able to provide the Christmas tree. I wasn't. There's no gifts wrapped. He's just, what he get is what he's gonna get. And so, I was really, really stressing, and I just want to know some things that maybe it wasn't gift related, but what are some of the things that you guys were stressing about coming this holiday?
Yeah.
What
So
do
I
you
like
have to
this.
say?
Well, I'm stressed.
Go ahead.
listening.
We listening.
So listen, my stress is stressing because it's not about what I couldn't give my kids.
Mhm.
You know, this holiday it's the situation that I'm forced into.
Okay.
You know, right now, and that is stressing, baby. I'm so used to having my own everything,
Mhm.
just me, just
Okay.
mine, and to have to share that space willingly, at first,
Mhm.
but having to share my personal space with somebody is very stressful because everybody don't parent like me, everybody don't think like me. People, they don't behave themselves like me.
Yeah. And so
So
you've been
it's
stressing.
stressing. And I thank
Okay.
God, okay? Because God is the only thing that's been getting me through it, baby.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
So y'all, this my stressing. This is gonna be a segment on our show that we're giving you the space to being able to kind of release some things. We go through the week and we dealing with some things, and so it's just like that Sunday you leave it all at the altar and just release it in this space. And so we want to this is Alicia's segment, but we want to give it out to the people that are watching as well. If there's anything, you can't call in today because we got my sis Brooke on the line.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have this segment going further, so you can call in. But right now, if you want to put a message in the chat about things that you may have been dealing with throughout the week, what's stressing you out, just to leave it there. You don't have to be specific. You ain't got to be. We don't have to be all up in your business about it
Your
if you don't
baby
want
daddy
to.
can be stressing
Yeah.
you
So
out.
whatever
My
is
stress
stressing, what's stressful for you
Your
in
job.
this week,
You
and
said
like
the job, Brooke?
and the job been stressing.
Yeah.
If you call the phone
Well,
line right
I'm
now,
talking about from
I was gonna
I'm
say,
talking
actually, if you
about for those that's gonna call, make their comments because anything
Okay.
could be stressful. That's
Yeah,
why I
most
was just saying.
definitely. Yeah,
Job
most
they
is
can leave a
definitely-
voicemail.
Oh, they can leave a
Leave
voicemail.
yeah,
Okay,
call
yeah.
phone,
So you can leave a voicemail or
that.
call. So this segment is gonna be a recurring segment that we're gonna
Every-
have. Just we're taking some time just to acknowledge. But for me, what I stress about, what my stress been stressing this
Week.
week, what's been going on? I ain't been real stressful this week. It's been okay week, even though I had
Okay.
like a full schedule of things, full schedule. And so I mainly just stress about sometimes I don't want to be present and and work and just have it to be over with or whatever. I kind of handle stress a little differently. I don't allow it to kind of sit with me for too long. But
That's gonna be my next question.
Which
How
one?
do
Yeah.
you deal? Now
That's
that
how
we
you
know-
handle stress.
We all
Yeah.
just said what we were stressing about. How do you deal with those stress? What are some things, coping mechanisms that helps you deal with those type of stresses, those type of pressures? So
I learned to breathe.
breathe. I was just gonna say one of the things I do is breathe, and I kind of sit there with my eyes closed. My son made fun of me the other day because I sit there and I rock, and I sit there and I rock, and I sit there with my eyes closed and I rock. And depending on the level of stress, I maybe rocking faster, and then
Yeah.
and then you can see me calming down because you can see the rocking tends to stop, and then I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, just meditating. That helps me clear my head because it really helps me clear my head. So I sit there and rock. And my son, he was sitting on the floor the other day, just sitting there rocking, and it made me smile because he had an attitude, and he just sat there and he rocked. Like some people that may seem like you may
Yeah.
look crazy,
Yeah.
but it was really calming me down from myself, because sometimes yourself can be, your
Yeah.
worst
You
enemy.
stressing yourself out.
Yeah. And so, what do
You
you
your own
do?
That's true.
stress. You your own stress. I cry a lot.
Okay.
I'm
I
a
am
crier.
crybaby.
I'm a crier, and I know the benefit. Like, I'm not a person who, like, people like, I don't want to
a
cry,
release.
or like,
Yeah.
it's definitely
healthy
a
release.
relief. And so I think that's like where I get into a space where I'm not like holding on to stress, because one of the big stressors for me, sometimes not even just on my own things that I'm going through. It's just like looking at the world and like all the things that are happening, and being in a space of feeling like I don't know, sometimes being in a space of feeling like hopeless about
Yeah.
things, about
Right.
just the state of like being and like what's going on in the world. Like, I was your live the other day. I was so mad when your
Man,
phone
that
died.
was a cliffhanger like
Oh
a
my god,
motherfucker,
it sure was.
wasn't it?
I'm like,
Oh my
it was like up to the edge, and I was like, oh my god, and then cut off. But like, even in that situation, just like things that are going on around this holiday season, and I'm really like, if you guys know me, and like Mark is getting to know me, and like the conversations that we have, like, I'm a really passionate person about like other people, and not in the sense of like trying, like being accommodating or pleasing to other people,
Empath, if
but
you
like
will.
I am an
Yeah.
empath, yeah. And so like when other people hurt,
You
it
feel
really hurts for me, and I'm like, and I'm passionate about people like understanding and being educated on things and knowing and treating people kind.
I wrote on
I
Facebook
like that.
earlier. I said, you don't know what anybody's going through right
Yeah.
now, so just be kind.
kind,
A
yeah.
hug, a I love you will go a long way. Don't know, might
Most
know what
definitely.
meant to. You know what I'm saying? I can
Yeah.
be sitting here smiling and be going through hell when I
Yeah.
get off this
And
camera.
that happens
you
all
know?
the time.
Like,
And that happens all the time.
and so a lot of people just need to be kind.
Yeah.
Just this holiday season, just
Smile.
be kind. Just be smile, a hug,
Yeah.
love on somebody. Like it goes,
That's
it goes
true.
a long way. It really do.
We need more of the empath
Yeah.
type energy in the world. No reason why I like what she said, right? Because it's like that's who I can tell the type of people who I feel like is worth connecting with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or who I can connect with. Because it's like for like family and friends, for example, you ever go through something and you tell somebody what you're going through, and they just like, damn, like it's like.
Yeah,
whatever,
damn.
you know
That's
what
what
I'm
they say.
saying?
Oh, word.
Yeah, word, yeah.
Word.
Versus
Yeah.
somebody like they
Yeah.
like what, like they hurt with you type shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Now picture like when you stub your toe and shit. You know what I mean? You hit your toe, boom. Your
Oh, let me
whole
hit
body and shit. You like, you hold your hand, everything.
I remember
shit.
that
want that
my
type
baby
of
the other day.
Everything that's connected
Yeah,
to
I
what
cry.
you hurt
Yeah.
moves
Yeah.
some kind of way. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
That
saying?
nerve, yeah.
That's
So it's
Yeah.
like them the type of people I want around me, to where if I'm hurting this shit, because these are the people that's gonna help change. So
Yeah.
like we got to do something about this pain and shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're moving for. You scratch, oh shit, something ain't right.
And
Yeah.
that's why
If you don't
time.
move when shit is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why time is not the only thing.
Yeah. It's the
Listen,
movement.
you brought me right
Look,
back.
Yeah,
to
we're
the
going back to
That's
the
why
War and
time
Peace.
is not the
Yeah.
only
That's why
thing.
when you disturb something, if you ain't
Yeah.
somebody that's gonna like,
Come
man,
on.
yeah, come on, dog.
Yeah.
And time is not
We
the
see how
only
we-
thing. Like,
we
yeah.
Just
That's
could bring
true.
that back around. Yeah.
Well, y'all, we've been going into some deep stuff this segment, and it was only supposed to be about the holidays, so we will keep tuning
It was
in.
about all
But it
that. You be
was,
trying to
though.
wrap
But
up.
it was.
I want to do our what would you rather's.
Oh, okay. So I got something else. I have I was going to I had asked a question earlier in the week about how people cope with their feelings and grief and things and over the holiday season. So I wanted to read a few of those. Let me see.
Call me the wrap up queen, though.
Yeah,
I
you
keep
are
us
the
on
wrap up
schedule.
queen. You
Yeah.
are. You be like, 10
Oh
minutes
my
over.
God.
Like, come on, let's get. She like,
Somebody gotta watch
she
the
like,
clock.
come on,
Act-
like
act
10
like
you
minutes.
gotta go.
I'm getting on them when
Yeah. Okay, so here are
Tell me
some
what
of the
you
ones
read.
that were commented on, and I wanted to read them because I thought it was interesting, like how different everybody can be and like how they deal and cope with things, and so we're talking about being kind to ourselves and things like that. So one person said they exercise, listen to music other than Christmas music, being with family and friends and outdoor activities so that I don't get too isolated.
Okay.
Another person said, though, even though they does not get too isolated, they say it's really hard for me, and I always shut myself down from everyone. So it's kind of the opposite of like they do. It is there's some isolation, that's happening with that.
Isolation is real. and
Yeah.
it's not talked about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah.
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 Somebody actually.
You know they
You said what, Bert?
remember when they used to say, I don't know if y'all heard it when they said like when you by yourself, a quiet mind is like I guess it's like that's a good time for the
Yeah.
devil.
Like a devil's playground.
It's
So
dangerous.
So there's some-
idle
Because now
mind.
you
I
have
don't know.
nothing but your own thoughts to concoct all of this bullshit, and you have
And
nothing
then
to
it messes you
dispute
up.
it. So you're believing it and you're growing it, and
So I'm a person for like, healthy isolation. So like, in a space where like you're in that space, you might be separated from others, but you're in that space where you're doing things that add to, not take away from. So you're not in that space where like, you're talking negatively to yourself the whole time, or you're like going down this spiral of like,
but that's
the
what some
bad.
people thrive
That's what
on.
people do. Yeah,
Some
they
people
happen.
thrive on
Yeah.
that, right? That's how they build themselves up is blowing out somebody else's candle.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody said, the opposite kind of that they don't kind of avoid like those feelings. They got feet to the fire. They schedule time to listen to their favorite songs that remind me of the recently departed loved one. Look at pictures, old home movies, call relatives to reminisce and share stories. Set a time each week to do that. So I guess this person, for them, it's not like just around the holiday season. It's just something overall. So that movement with it makes take that sting a bit from it. Being able to talk about like that person, good memories, instead of it, being a space of like, just fully sadness, with it.
I don't think I've been sad either because, like I said, my mom's birthday close to the holidays. Christmas is in 2 days. So when is Christmas, y'all? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Nah.
Christmas is tomorrow. My mom's birthday was yesterday. And so with that, it's just, I just tried to be around love.
So if you forgot that Christmas is tomorrow, did you remember that your mom's birthday was yesterday?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
she
No,
did.
okay.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
I did.
I ain't forget that one. That's
No.
more important than
Yeah.
Christmas.
I
and
was
shit.
trying to forget about Christmas because I felt like I wasn't prepared for it. And so I didn't
See,
want
because
to
Christmas is feeling more like a deadline to
Yeah,
everybody than a
it
holiday,
does.
right?
It don't,
Yeah,
I don't get joy from thinking about Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah.
You
See?
know?
And that's part of our adult trauma, right? That we went
Yeah.
from a kid being, oh, this fucking jolly ass shit. Now we turn into the fucking Grinch.
It's like,
Yeah.
As we grow to get older, it's part of the trauma. We've been lied to all of our lives.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have to unlearn this bullshit.
and just that pressure. It wasn't like I haven't gotten to the holiday spirit yet. And I'm pretty sure I will when I see my son's face tomorrow because he got his robot bugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So I'm
That's
gonna
it.
do one more. One
Okay.
person, as far as like coping, they said shrooms.
Oh, listen, I was gonna bring that up
yep.
earlier. I was gonna bring it up.
Yep.
Man, that. Phew.
I like shrooms. I
We was talking about
do.
crying. I was talking about crying. I was gonna say that's why I
Release.
like shrooms. Sometimes they make you cry
They
for no
do.
reason.
Really. Oh,
It makes
You
you.
be
It's a
happy,
reason,
like, oh my
yes.
god, the sky is blue.
I'm gonna try
Right.
some.
Right,
Whatever
but you
you
can hold
feeling.
space. It allows you to hold space for that, like where it
Man,
doesn't seem
listen.
like it's a negative
Man.
or like a
Oh
bad
my
thing.
God.
That's
Who said
yeah.
something about mushrooms? I don't even see that
Shrooms.
comment.
Yeah, this was
gonna try
earlier in the week on my page. I asked this
Oh,
question.
okay.
I took a
Yeah.
shroom while I was dancing, and I really felt like every move, y'all. I felt like the beat, like my body was just like flowing, and it's
You
Yeah.
felt connected to the universe.
yeah.
What I
just
will
felt like I
say-
was one with the drum. I was one with the bass.
What I will
like,
say is, regardless of, taking drugs or
Come on,
Yeah.
now.
just anything. No, regardless of all of
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? Just when it comes to grief,
Yeah,
it's just a process. You still have to go through the process,
most
no matter
definitely,
what
most
you
definitely.
cope with. You
Most
still have
definitely.
to go through the process. It's nothing that you can forget for real.
yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. Yeah, and they, even with those, like with, oh, is she still talking? Even
No.
with those, even with the shrooms and everything, it is not even just about it's not about forgetting or anything. It does help you to
So
hold
what we
space.
said about that,
for
that
it.
video in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
It's the time, the motion,
Yeah,
along with
all of
the
that.
right tools.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it was one. Remember, one side of that thing was flat,
Yeah.
and
The
the other side had
the
forks.
Yeah.
that was digging
Yeah.
and removing.
Yeah.
Let's come
It was a-
on.
Yes.
It was a special.
Yeah.
You
tool.
gotta give me preaching. Let me stop.
It was a special tools that was used.
Yeah.
Some
Right?
work had to be done.
work had to
Some
be
things
done.
had to be shifted.
So
Yeah.
with that, so we're in this space. So wrap up.
Yeah.
What's some things that we want to end this off? Some things that anything that you want to tell to our listeners, or even just for yourself. you know, you want to be reminded
I
of.
just want to remind everyone to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Give
kind.
yourself grace.
Be kind. Be kind. Even to yourself. Be kind.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I'm in agreement. What'd you say, Brooke?
That's why I said give yourself,
Give yourself
grace.
grace. Yeah, I'm in that too. Yeah, be kind. Give yourself
Yeah.
grace. Be kind to yourself. You know, be kind to others in this season. And you know, just as we said, morning peace. You know, it's time in the movement that helps. You know, that pain may still be there, but that movement, that motion happens. There's times that you're gonna smile again. And so,
And that
yeah,
smile might be
love
bigger than the
yourself.
other.
Yeah,
You hear me?
love yourself. Alrighty.
Love yourself
Love
and
yourself.
smile.
Love yourself. My Sis Podcast.
Hey, thank y'all for joining us.
I'll be home next week.
She gonna be home next week.
She will. She will. And next week we getting deep.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.